Hello, everybody. It's time to be live again. Yes, back from holidays, back to work, and back to regular life. Gardening show episodes. So, yeah, I am totally thrilled. I had a lovely summer with an unexpected short holidays. So, that was really nice. Hope you had that too. And now it is September already, the 1st today. So, yeah, but gardening season is not over yet. Absolutely not. First of all, of course, we have to keep harvesting whatever we have in our garden. And second of all, we still have some months to come in which we can actually sow. More on that in later episodes over the coming weeks, of course. But for now, I want to say hello and welcome to Spilling the Green Beans, episode 31. It's my life gardening show where I share with you my green secrets to inspire you to start growing your own vegetables. So, I'm your host, Emily, creator of Easy Urban Gardening, the system for growing your own vegetables on a balcony or terrace in town. Thank you for spending time with me today when I talk about beetroots. Yes, it's a vegetable episode again. But growing vegetables can seem daunting and hard work. But I share with you my green secrets, the most crucial techniques to make it fun and easy. You'll also learn how to take advantage of the broad health benefits of gardening and, as in today's episode, how to cook delicious meals with your own homegrown veggies. I am spilling the green beans. Growing beetroots is relatively easy. You can sow them from April to the end of August. Today is the 1st of September. Depending on where you are on the world and the weather forecast, you can still put in around, and they will be ready before the real winter sets in. But there is a little trick. Later, like in autumn, now I'm talking like late September or maybe even early October, you can sow a round of beetroots. They won't give you beets anymore before winter starts, but it does give you greens, and the greens are very sturdy. They can handle a few degrees of frost, they can handle snow. So, and then that is an extra fresh greens that you can actually harvest over winter. So that's kind of like my secret tip of today, is that you can actually sow beets in autumn, and although you won't get beets, you will have the greens. Beets are a medium-sized plant from the orange family, and as it's medium, you can get 9 in a square. Extremely important with beets, it's like with carrots, is that you thin them really back to one seedling per spot. So no more than 9 seedlings in a square. And it is so extremely important because, first of all, of course, it's the space. You want them to grow nice, big, round beets. And second, it is the main root that is actually turning into that beet. So as soon as that doesn't have space enough, it won't come to full growth. And you have to thin carefully, as we always do. I say it often and often, but I do say it again today. You have to do it with a tiny pair of scissors, because as the main root should grow into your beet, as soon as it is damaged, even if it's a tiny little bit, it won't fully develop. So thinning, really, really extremely important because of the space your beet needs, and important that you do it carefully, because damage will actually make it almost impossible to grow a nice beet. When are beets ready? People ask me that often. Of course, they grow under the ground, so you can't really see it. But as soon as the shoulders of the beetroot kind of like push above the ground, That's when you can start harvesting. You can also always check a little bit more on them by, just moving a bit of soil to the side and see what the size is. And then you have to decide yourself how big you want your beets. Of course, you can have them grow like that big. I prefer them like roughly the size like that, like a small orange, something like that. But you can harvest them anywhere between the size of a lime and the size of a grapefruit, so to say. Um, Anything that can go wrong, they're quite sturdy, so it doesn't happen too often. But you can have that especially that the leaves just don't look good. And there are a few options. You can have light green or yellow spots on the leaves, and that can be caused by the beetroot fly larvae. And these animals, they dig tunnels in the leafy green. So just cut off the corroded leaves and keep on going, because the plants, like the roots, they are hardly ever affected by the beetroot fly. And then you can have brown spots on the leaves, and that can be caused by rust. That's kind of like a fungus, and that can develop especially after you had a lot of rain. So, again, cut away the corroded leaf and keep them going, because the plants are hardly affected. Only when the plants are completely dry and brown, then it's a little bit of a problem. It can be not enough water. It can be just the temperature. It can be too much damage through something like a hailstorm. Um, it is it can be either things, but the plants will probably not make up for the damage anymore. So that's really a pity, but things like that can happen. You just empty the patch, you clean it, you add a scoop of compost, and you choose a new vegetable to sow. These kind of things just happen when you garden. They happen to me, they happen to everybody. So it's nothing to feel ashamed of or angry about or disappointed. That's just one of the things in a gardener's life you have to learn to deal with. And the nice thing of easy urban gardening is that you can step over it very quickly. You just clean everything out, as I said, add a bit of compost, make the soil loose again, and start something new. Okay, that's kind of like, in a nutshell, how to grow a beet, what can happen, and what to do. But now the best part of this episode, as always with the vegetable episode, it's cooking with beetroots. Beetroots are cultivated already for centuries. Although in ancient times, especially in the Middle Eastern area where they grew them already, they mainly ate the greens. And that is, I mentioned them already, that is something most people nowadays don't think about anymore. But young beet greens are a really nice addition to your mixed salad or to make a pesto with. And the bigger leaves can be braised or steamed, sorry, and then used in similar ways as we use spinach. So you can just cook them like that. You can braise them with a little bit of onion in a nice olive oil, or even in a little bit of butter. You can spice that olive oil butter before you braise the greens with nutmeg, with fenugreek, with star anise, cinnamon, and ginger. You can go wild there, and then you can use it like that. You can also use the steamed or braised beetroot greens when you make a lasagna with like salmon, something like that. So pretty much any way that you like to use or eat your spinach is something that you can do with beetroot greens as well. But of course, we all know that we normally eat the beet roots. And cultivation for the roots is thought to be common since Roman times, and the root can be consumed in all sorts of different ways. So take a pen and paper or watch this episode back and back again, because I'm going to give you some ideas. You can eat them raw. Really nice when you cut them like really thin, maybe on a mandolin, and then serve them like a carpaccio. So sprinkle with olive oil, thick balsamic vinegar or lemon juice, and season to taste with salt and pepper. Then you can garnish with rocket, with little small young beet greens, with almost any other lettuce that you like. Lamb's lettuce is really nice, or spinach. Then you can choose and add some cheese like Parmesan, feta, or goat cheese. And then add some roasted pine nuts, hazelnuts, or pumpkin seeds. Really yummy. Very easy, super nice starter. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Then, of course, you can eat them boiled. And I personally prefer our traditional family style. So you cut the beets in little cubes, and then you cook them in a bit of water with vinegar and a teaspoon of sugar. Or the little bit more modern way, as my mom does, she uses a sweet white balsamic vinegar and no sugar. So she takes a bit of water, maybe mixed with a little bit of apple juice, and then you add the vinegar and you boil the beets covered with just a little, covered like the pot covered with just a little bit of the water, apple juice, vinegar mixture. And once they're done, you can thicken the juice a little bit so that it becomes almost like a sauce. I love it. Served with a steamed cod. Yummy, yummy, yummy. The third way you can eat your beetroots is pickled. Of course, that's done in vinegar. And then you can go wild with your herbs and spices. Of course, adding dill is a really classic combination. But why not try to add some fennel seeds, chili flakes, and fenugreek? That sounds good. Or even a little bit more exotic, cardamom, lemon zest, and cacao or coffee beans. Try it. Really, really nice. And then the fourth and final way you can consume your beetroots I want to discuss with you is pressed for juice. So you make beetroot juice. And that, of course, is really nice in smoothies. Always good. I really like my beetroots as a smoothie, and I like to combine them in many ways. So I'll give you a few that I really love. Not only, of course, the beets, that's the basics, and then with orange, ginger, and star anise, or with kale, orange, lemon, and celery, or kale and apple, or with carrot, mint, apple, ginger, and lime. And my final advice is spinach, cucumber, and blueberries combined with your beetroots. But a more exciting way to use beet juice is making ice cream. Yes, you heard that correctly. I love to make beets sorbet and then serve it with a duck confit and torched tuna. So, when you are in for some more experimental cooking and would like to get the recipe for beets sorbet, or just want the details on how to make the mentioned smoothies, you can always let me know in the comments. You can send me a message or just drop me an email. For now, I thank you for spending time with me in the garden and look forward to seeing you again next week when we talk about how to rejuvenate your garden going into autumn. Did you enjoy this episode of Spilling the Green Beans? Then please share, subscribe, and give a review so more people can enjoy the show. I see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Ciao.